Today is Wednesday, January 23rd. What the Supreme Court decided about transgender troops and what lawmakers will vote on this week. Will it end the shutdown? Plus, the Super Bowl ad you won't see, a new service like Uber, and the 2 ways Netflix just made history. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. Congress is taking more action this week to try and end the government shutdown. Tomorrow, the Senate will vote on 2 competing bills that could reopen the government. The first time the Senate will vote on anything related to the shutdown, by the way. One would give President Trump the $5.7 billion he wants for a border wall or barrier, in exchange for some protections for Dreamers, the undocumented immigrants brought over to the U.S. as children. The other would reopen the government until early next month as a way to at least fund the government while talks continue about border security. But USA Today reports both of those bills will likely fail. Either bill would need 60 votes to pass in the Senate, and it doesn't look good since each party is supporting a different one. And today, lawmakers in the House will be voting on some other bills, attempting a compromise. But even if they pass there, they'll likely die in the Senate. And so the shutdown continues. And now, in a new report this week, FBI agents are saying the shutdown is hindering investigations into things like terror suspects, drug traffickers, and child predators. NBC News reports the FBI's 35,000 employees are preparing to miss their second paycheck this Friday. And so are thousands of other federal workers, some even getting odd jobs to make up for the loss of pay. The New York Times says some furloughed employees started working as Uber or delivery drivers, waiters, babysitters, and substitute teachers. And as more TSA agents call out sick or don't show up for work, the department is asking for volunteers. CNN reports TSA is asking for 250 workers from other airports to move to those airports that are struggling the most with call-outs. President Trump is moving forward with his State of the Union address, despite House Speaker Nancy Pelosi asking him to postpone it. Remember, last week, Pelosi sent Trump a letter asking him to reschedule his address because of the shutdown and possible security concerns. Now, the Washington Post reports Trump is preparing 2 versions of his speech. One could be delivered in Washington. The other could work for somewhere else in the country, just in case Pelosi doesn't allow him to give the speech from the House chamber. She's supposed to formally invite the president to speak. The White House says Pelosi is playing politics with the venue. The State of the Union address is scheduled for next Tuesday, the 29th. President Trump's policy to ban most transgender people from serving in the military can go into effect for now. That was the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling yesterday. To be clear, this is not the final say about the policy. The ruling just means the ban can be put in place while the policy is still being challenged in lower courts. Time reports it was a 5-4 decision, and it makes exceptions for transgender troops already serving if they serve as the gender they were born as. The Trump administration says it's because of things like high medical costs, but critics call the policy cruel and irrational. The Supreme Court says it will listen to a case challenging a New York gun law. The New York Times reports it's the first time the highest court has accepted a case involving gun rights in nearly a decade. The current law does not allow people with a certain gun license to leave their home with their weapons. New York City's mayor told reporters he'll fight to keep the law as it is. To be continued. Stocks are down in the U.S. and around the world. The likely reason? This week's news that the global economy is weakening. Remember, the International Monetary Fund said the global economy will actually grow slower in 2019 than originally thought. Plus, the trade tensions between the U.S. and China have not gotten much better. The Dow was down more than 300 points yesterday. More than 500,000 students and their teachers in Los Angeles are scheduled to go back to class today. Public school teachers and the school board made a deal. It ends a week-long teacher strike in the second largest school district in the country. The LA Times reports the deal means teachers will get a 6% pay raise, and there will be new caps on class sizes. The city will also spend money to hire more school nurses and counselors and limit how many charter schools are allowed. The deal was approved last night, and now teachers and students should be in school today. More news still ahead, but a quick break for today's sponsor, Social Media Marketing World. This is another event I'll be at this year, and I'm so excited about it. Social media marketing world is exactly what it sounds like. If you are at all involved with social media and marketing, then you want to be at this event. And I'm so honored to be moderating some of the sessions with the world's leading experts in this industry. The social pros are there to share the latest tactics and help you master social media in 2019. In fact, this event is the world's largest gathering of social media thought leaders. It's also known for the networking. You can build relationships with so many other marketers and creators, which is inspiring and energizing and gives you a chance to share your story as well. It's March 20th to 22nd in beautiful San Diego, California. So whether you run your own business or you need to convince your boss to send you, just go to thenewsworthy.com/social media event to get your ticket and meet me there. Again, that's thenewsworthy.com/social media event. Then let me know you're coming so we can plan a meetup and all connect. Now back to the news. BMW has a name for its new ride-hailing and car-sharing service. It's Jurbey. Jurbey. Reuters reports German companies BMW and Daimler combined their car-sharing businesses to try and compete with Uber in the U.S. and a similar service in China. Jurbey will offer taxi, parking, riding, and charging services. The companies are expected to unveil the plan at the end of next month. CBS said no thanks to airing an ad for medical marijuana during the Super Bowl. USA Today reports the commercial shows 3 people who suffer from health issues and then explain how their lives were made better with medical marijuana. CBS simply said it will not run ads related to anything cannabis based on its broadcast standards. Reports say an average 30-second spot during the Super Bowl costs $5.2 million. The Super Bowl is Sunday, February 3rd. Viacom is getting into video streaming, but instead of starting a brand new service, it bought one that already exists. CNBC reports Viacom is buying Pluto TV for $340 million cash. Viacom owns MTV, BET, Comedy Central, the Cartoon Network, and more. Pluto TV is free and supported with ads. It doesn't require cable, but it will let carriers like Comcast offer the service to customers who pay for internet. Oscar nominations are in, and for the first time, a Netflix film is up for Best Picture. In fact, it's the first time any movie by a streaming service has been in that top category. The Netflix movie Roma is also tied for the most nominations. Roma and The Favorite have 10 nominations each. Next up, A Star is Born got 8 nominations, and Black Panther earned 7. The 91st Academy Awards are set to air live on ABC Sunday, February 24th, with no official host. Oh, and one more thing. Netflix also just became the first internet company to join the Motion Picture Association of America. Variety reports it's a move to show the world Netflix is now a major player in the movie space. And that's it for today. Thanks again for listening. And don't forget, if you get value out of this show, please be sure to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. And if you'd like to read more about any of the news stories we talked about in this episode, just check out today's show notes. Go to thenewsworthy.com, click episodes, and find today's date. The Newsworthy is ready for you to listen every weekday by 4 in the morning. I'll be back with more news tomorrow. Have a great day.